Hello and welcome to Model Railroading for Dummies, the how-to show for model railroading dummies just like me. Now, I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video. It's been crazy around here. Number one, April's been one cold, wet, muddy month. In April we had a blizzard and a snowstorm. That really made things difficult. And my dad had to have his appendix taken out. So for a couple weeks he could not milk. Which means that my brother and I had to pick up his end of the chores. Which means I haven't had any time to do any modeling. So, plus, past couple of weeks we've been lambing for the spring lambs. Man, we had a lot of lambs this spring. We lambed over 50 ewes in 2 weeks. That's darn fast for spring lambs. A lot of triplets, a lot of and a set of quadruplets. That's 4 lambs for one little ewe. So, it's been busy. At one point, we're up to 9 bottle lambs. So, that's what's been happening here, why I have not been able to upload anything. Now, just recently, Model Railroader Video Plus has a new kit bashing challenge for its contributors and people who work for Model Railroader Video Plus. It's called the State Line Kit Bash Challenge. Because basically what it is, they're given this Walther's kit. It's a Walther's State Line Farm Supply. Okay, so basically they're given a kit and then they have to change it. And so here are the rules. You get the one kit, and that's your base components. That's basically the first step. The second step being that at least some recognizable part of the original kit is visible. So basically, you can't just take this kit, don't need it, or maybe use one tiny little part out of it and use something else. No, it's got to be the base kit itself. You got to be able to say, I recognize that kit. You'll be able to recognize portions of it. But, I mean, you can rearrange it however you want. And then you can add up to $50 in stuff, whether it be figures or other buildings or what have you. So, but you do have an unlimited bracing. Basically, styrene strips and whatnot for bracing, because when you kit bash, you quite often have to add extra bracing so that things can hold up well. So, and the cost for the bracing does not count towards the $50. So, that's good. And finally, it's got to be freestanding and no diorama. So basically, you have to have it so that you can move it up, put it on a table, and show it. And you can have multiple buildings that aren't connected, but they got to be able to stand on a table or whatever without a base. So I'm gonna follow with that challenge myself. So I got me a State Farm Lines supply for my base kit. So I got a plan. I got one spot in my entire layout that can work. And it looks like it's going to work perfectly. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this into a fertilizer place. Where they bring fertilizer in, and that's where you store it. And then, they mix it out, they blend it up. And then they send it out to farmers buy it, and then they spread it on their fields to have better crops. So, if they don't have manure to spread out, even then you usually need at least some fertilizer, nitrogen or something like that. So that's what's going to be the base part. I'm going to be adding some stuff. Number one, I'm getting this Rick's Products grain elevator. I really like this kit. It's a really fun kit. I don't need a lot of it. So, but it's a really nice looking kit. Here's an example one that I made, a long one. I'm only going to be needing this top portion here. I really like these cages. It's really they really look nice. So I'm gonna need this to, you know, bring in the fertilizer into the building. So that's the number one kit coming next. Then I got the McGraw Oil Company. It's from a different. I got it from a different project, but it's gonna work good here. I only need half of it. Basically, I want two of these silo thingies, and I'm gonna use them for storing liquid fertilizer. So I'm gonna use that'll be needed there. Also, finally, in a previous kit, I got this Farmer Cooperative elevator. Now, it comes with a little shed here. So I had an extra shed lying around. I'm going to use that as well for another portion of the area where you load the trucks and mix up the feed, or not feed, mix up the fertilizer. So those are the three Walthers kits I'm using, plus the Rick's Products kit. Finally, I've got this Roadmaster Bobcat kit. It's a little skid steer or Bobcat, whichever you call it. It's a little metal kit. So, because the way I'm basing this on a fertilizer place nearby in Volga, it's no longer rail served, unfortunately, but it still will give me a base from which to build this. So what they do is they have storage bins, and they have a skid steer there, or Bobcat, whichever you prefer. We have a New Holland skid steer, so we call it skid steer. So what the skid steer does, it goes, picks up the stuff, and then dumps it into this mixer. So I'm going to do that here. So what I'm going to do, because the spot I'm having it is right here. And so it's not wide enough to have, the spot I have is not this wide. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut a portion of it off. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have it open so you can see the inside and see how things work. And I think that will really look nice. So I took some pictures today of the fertilizer place in Volga. So let's go to the computer now and show you the pictures I took today. Okay, here we are at my computer. As you can see, this is the picture I took here at the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad last year. Real nice railroad. Okay, let's look at the pictures. Expand the size a bit. Okay, this is viewing at it from Subway. So they were putting in fresh fertilizer today. Here's a slightly better version. Got it from... Took several pictures, because better off taking an extra picture than a short one. Now here's something that I would really like to do for this tank. That real rust spot. That'll really look cool. This is that little elevator leg. So there's a hole in the tracks there. The fertilizer goes up in there. This is a little platform. The kit comes with a really nice platform, so almost identical to this. So I'd like to recreate that. So there's a little bit of the piping there. This is the mixer here. And then it goes into here and goes into a truck. There's that rust spot again. I wanted to get a close-up look of it. There's a slightly better version of the mixer. Okay, here's from the other side. See, this is the hopper area where the skid steer will come and dump in the fertilizer where we get mixed up, come up here and go in the truck. Unfortunately, we can't model this portion here because of space, but we might be able to model this part right here. There's the skid steer that they use. Okay, here's some fertilizer in here.
There's some darker fertilizer. You can't really see it, but future picture will show it up better. This is a really nice one. This really shows the fertilizer. Okay, here's that dark stuff again. So we'll try and model this. And this is back at the other end of the building to store other stuff. So like there's that skid steer again, and the fertilizer is stored back in here. Here's the picture from this end. This is Highway 14. And there we are at the beginning. Okay, now let's go to the layout and see with what space that we have to work with.
Okay, here we are now on the layout. So, I've taken some pieces out of the kits to use to basically to judge how things are gonna work. So, number one, I got a freight car here that'll tell me where is the farthest back it can go before it goes into this turn over here that I don't think you can see. Because I'm going to want it so it can line up, say, put it about here or so. That's about the best spot. Because that is where I'm going to have to put the elevator thing. Now this is a leftover part from a Walder's elevator thingy, which I don't care for as much. It doesn't look as good as the Rick's one. The Rick's one looks a lot better. But this base will give me a good idea where to put it. Now, this will be the base right here. And I'd say this is probably going to be where it's going to be. So, and then this is the base area for the going to be the liquid fertilizer stuff. Now, I'm only going to want two, like you see in the like you saw in the pictures. So what we're going to have to do is cut this off here. What I think I'm going to do is, so I'm going to place it more or less about here, I think will look good. And so we'll cut it about right here. But I don't think there's enough room to have an actual dirt barricade here. It'll get too much in the way over here. And also, no, here's the two pieces that we're going to add on. So, you know, when you put it in like this, there's really no room. So I think it's just going to be partially covered with the building, and then maybe just have a cement retaining wall or something. And so, you know, things are falling apart, but you know, this loading portion here will be like so. I don't know if it'll go all the way back. I may only use a part of this and go, say, here. So I don't think we need it all the way over there. But say go to about this door here or so. I think that would be fine. If we were to cut this off there. Because it would go, because since we're going to be cutting this off here, you won't know that we'll be cutting it off before this window. And theoretically, it will be a higher building than we actually have here. But illusion is everything, because the truck area will be in the aisle here, so unfortunately we don't have enough space for that. But basically what we'll do is, here's this car, or the skid steer will be coming in here, and they will load up all the fertilizer, come over here, and then dump it into the mixer here, which will mix it up and then put it in the trucks. That's what my thinking is right here. So if we put it more or less right here, then, and then this is the roof piece that we need to cut. Now, one thing I like about the Farm State Supply is it comes with this really nice looking dock. Very much like the one you see in the pictures. So, we're going to paint this up and we'll put it right over here. Because in my thinking is that originally this was not a fertilizer place, but was probably just a farm supply store. But then it was upgraded later, or to either the farm supply place no longer was rail served or moved or something else. A lot of things are possible. So, but they left the stuff here, and then they turned it into a fertilizer place, adding the loading dock area, and turned the main building into a fertilizer area. That's my thinking. So we'll still have this area here, which can be used as a team track for stuff that needs a ramp to be unloaded. But I think what I'll do here is I got some real thin wood that I'm gonna cover on the top of this and stain it to look like really aged wood, and I think it will look excellent. I have a flat car that I did something similar to, and I tell you, it looks so much better than right out of the box. In fact, let me get it. Okay, here. So, this is an example of a Milwaukee Road bulkhead flat car. Now, I've stained this, and it looks so much better than this plain old yellow paint. And that's what I want to do here for that. And it will add so much to that. So that's my planning at this moment. Of course, in modeling, things change. So, because, you may have obstacles. So, that's my thinking right now. So, that's the plan. Okay, so that's the plan for what we're going to do. Next time, we'll be able to start working on the kit itself. Prepping the pieces, painting it, and all that type of stuff. So, we got a plan now. Let's try and follow it. So, I've done a little bit of kit bashing, but not much. This is going to be my first real finished kit bash thing I've ever done. And I think it'll look really cool, especially with the internal detail. It's going to take more work for it, but I think the results will pay off in the end. But if it doesn't look as good as we hope, who cares? We're doing our best. Model rendering is art. Just instead of using paintbrushes, except on our models, we're recreating the world in a 3D form. Something like photographers or painters do in 2D. Just remember, it's an art form. Have fun using it. That's what model rendering is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. There are times where there are portions of it that are not all that fun, but get through those and focus on the fun. So, if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe or leave a comment. And if you do subscribe, make sure to hit the little bell icon so that you can get updates when I release future content. So until next time, keep your train on the tracks.